So here we are out in the woods at the Mora Adventure. This is the area that I'm teaching the medicinal values and first aid uses of several local plants and tree materials. Been walking students back here once in a while. We've been collecting back here, but I'm going to show you one of the very good resources in Scandinavia that is antiseptic, and it is sphagnum moss. There's lots of different types of moss in Scandinavia. You can see moss all over the ground out here. And I've been educated very well by a local lady on the different types of moss. And we have mostly bear moss, what they call bear moss, on the ground here. If you get into the lower lying areas, and you can see that this is mostly a pine, or excuse me, a spruce forest here. Within the lower lying areas, you have small birch trees growing. And in the areas where these birch trees are growing, you have water. That's why the birch are growing here. And around this water, you have true sphagnum moss. And you can see when you pull this moss how long the roots are and how much water is in that plant. There's a ton of water in that plant. It probably collects 20 times its weight in water. It's a good filtration type plant, but because it's antiseptic, it's very good for application to wounds as both a wipe and a wash. Would be effective on a burn if used inside a fomentation because it's already cool, it's antiseptic, and it's going to hold moisture for a long time to treat a burn. So this is one of the plants that we're talking about today, is this sphagnum moss. Okay, here we have a big pile of sphagnum moss that I collected earlier. I've wrung the water out of this now, and I'm just picking the things out of it that aren't sphagnum moss and drying it so that I can later pack it down very small and compress it to be used as a gauze type material in my kit for my woodsman's apothecary, because this type plant was used until recent times in Germany for a wound dressing for all surgical type procedures, because it is antiseptic in nature and also very absorbent. So this is a natural gauze material that I'm going to put in my woodsman's apothecary. Okay, here's another one of the plants that we're talking about today at our medicinal plant seminar here at Mora Adventure, and this is old man's beard, or usnea. And usnea is being used clinically at this time to help treat breast cancer. It's a very strong immune system booster, but more importantly in the short term, it is a very strong antibiotic that's been shown to be effective against both strep and staph type infections. So things like pneumonia and flu, staphylococcus, this is a good antibiotic to use to treat those things. You can make an infusion or a decoction from this old man's beard and take it internally by liquid, or you could turn it into a stronger medicine by making a tincture. And it grows on the spruce trees quite readily out here in Scandinavia.